Welcome back to Wrestling Renaissance. My name is TJ Leo.
And I'm Cole 2K.
And this is the AEW Fantasy Booking 2025 special, whatever you want to call it. We're going to talk about AEW just the way we did WWE last week. We're going to talk about the overall state of the company, where we think their champions should go, where we think their roster should go, their pay-per-views, etc., so on and so forth. We were before the show, we were discussing a few things off camera. One of which is their pay-per-view schedule, which at present time, as of this recording, which is January 16th at 7:30 Eastern, they only have 3 pay-per-views scheduled for 2025. Revolution, which is March 9th in LA, which hopefully the fires are dealt with by then, or that might be a problem. I don't know specifically where the Crypto.com arena is. The fact,
that is
by the way,
downtown Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. The fact that there's a Crypto.com arena is scary to me. Also, so we'll have to see how things progress with that natural disaster going on. It's crazy. Then we have All in Texas at the Globe Life Field, July 12th. And then Forbidden Door, which is in England, August 24th. So they're missing a lot this year. They're missing Double or Nothing. They're missing an All Out. I'm sure they'll have both, but they're not announced yet.
Full Gear.
Wrestle Dynasty or what? Wrestle Dream.
They do have Forbidden Door. Did you mention Forbidden Door?
Yeah. So that's the one in England in August.
Yeah.
But the one we were discussing was the fact that Grand Slam Australia was downgraded from a stadium show to an arena show, and now is potentially just a collision on Max. Potentially, because of some NBA conflicts.
Because the scheduling with the NBA All-Star Game festivities. So maybe they'll move it over to TBS, True TV, or any of the other Warner
Can they do that?
Yeah. I mean, anything that falls under the Warner Brothers Discovery umbrella, I guess they can.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's true. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Very.
But if not, I mean, maybe it'll be just on Max only, which
or nothing.
That event,
might just be a house show.
Well, I mean, put it on Max. I mean, like they do normally Collision. In that case, it's basically the same as a WWE PLE.
Yeah.
Premium live event.
Yeah. Very weird situation. Whoever was dealing with that particular scenario definitely fumbled the ball multiple times. First they assumed that they could fill a stadium in Australia. That failed. And then they, booked it the same weekend as the NBA All-Stars weekend, which not a great idea. Yeah, just a very strange situation there. We were also discussing what AEW considers its WrestleMania. TNA has Bound for Glory, I think, is their WrestleMania, right?
I think so. I think that's
the big one.
I mean, whether it's Slammiversary or Bound for Glory, I think.
Oh yeah.
That Bound for Glory is when they do their Hall of Fame stuff.
So that would make sense to be their WrestleMania. Okay.
So I think
maybe Slammiversary is more of like a SummerSlam.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe. But yeah, I mean, if it's something where the Hall of Fame, where they announce and induct Hall of Fame, I think that would kind of
constitute.
Classify. Yeah, that would constitute like a WrestleMania type event.
Agreed. And AEW doesn't seem to have a thumb on which one is their big show.
Not really a definitive, no.
No, like All In is their stadium show, so you would think that would be the one. But Double or Nothing was previously treated as the big one before
because that was
All In
the
went
very
stadiums.
first. That was the very first All Elite Wrestling pay-per-view. Was Double or Nothing.
Yeah. So I think they need to get that in order for sure. They need to figure out that. They need to figure out what makes all their pay-per-views special. WWE has had that sort of concreted for a very long time at this point.
Some of them got muddy for
sure.
some time, for sure.
But you always had the big four. You always knew you could count on the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam as the big ones. Survivor Series, as we discussed on a recent Wrestling Renaissance run-in,
lost steam for a lot of years.
Lost a lot of steam, and even today, I don't personally consider it one of the big four anymore. It's fine. It's just a themed pay-per-view, in my opinion, at this point.
Right now, it is, yeah.
Yeah, I would personally consider Money in the Bank bigger than Survivor Series. I'd swap the two if I had the choice of where they fall on the calendar. That being said, AEW really needs to figure out a way to make their pay-per-views more special. The All In is really the only one that has any sort of significance in terms of like you hear that name and you're like, oh, that's the big stadium show. Like, what that is. But if you say Revolution or Double or Nothing or All Out or Wrestle Dream, World's End, you're like, they're all just a pay-per-view, right?
I think they're four, because when they first started out the first few years, they only had four, and that was
All In, All Out,
Revolution,
and Double or Nothing.
Full Gear.
Oh, Full Gear, yeah. See what I mean, though? Like, none of them stand out except for All In.
Right.
They also need to spread out All In and All Out. God, two weeks or 1 week was so stupid.
Yeah, it's 1 week the first time and 2 weeks the second time.
So stupid. Just brutal. So yeah, that's that. They need to figure out their pay-per-view schedule and make their pay-per-views a little bit more unique. I guess Forbidden Door has a unique premise to it, being co-branded with
They used to.
Yeah, but they're kind of all mixed all the time now.
Yeah, they're all mixed all the time right now.
Yeah. So it's not really all that special anymore, unfortunately.
Not as much.
No.
Especially with the news that dropped today about WWE and TNA announcing a partnership, multi-year partnership.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
Something to talk about.
Yeah, I think we'll save that for maybe the next episode, some sort of WWE related episode. But yeah, that's big news for sure that needs to be discussed. All right, well, we've talked about the pay-per-views. Let's talk about the roster. Let's get to the roster. I'm going to bring up the champions first. We can talk about them. So, starting from the bottom up, which we're going to talk about these belts in a minute as well. But these are the champions. The Continental Champion is Okada. The TNT Champion is Daniel Garcia. The International Champion is Konosuke Takeshita. The World Trios Champions are the Death Riders. The World Tag Champs are Private Party. The TBS Women's Champion is Mercedes Moné. The Women's World Champion is Mariah May. And the World Champion is Jon Moxley. So, about the belts themselves. Some people say that there's too many belts. I don't necessarily agree with that, because WWE's got a lot of belts too. I mean,
they have tons.
More. Yeah. So it's not necessarily that AEW's got more belts and they need to downgrade because of that, or take away some because of that. The problem with them is the men's championships are way too numerous, and you can't really tell which one does what. So like WWE's men's titles are the world title, and then you got your mid-card title, which is the Intercontinental or US title. That's it, right?
And they're separated.
Yeah. And then with AEW, you've got, for the men's titles, the world title, the international title, the TNT title, and the Continental title. So what the hell do they all mean?
Yeah, there kind of needs to be some sort of like a hierarchy or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. There's like I don't know. Like I have no clue how to think about these titles or like what they mean. It's like, okay, what is the difference between the international champion, the continental champion, and the TNT champion? My assumption is that the continental is like a US title, but the international title is like an intercontinental title.
Right.
So, and they're both mid card titles. And then the TNT championship, I have no freaking idea. Um, at least the women's makes some a semblance of sense to me.
Oh yeah, I mean you got your world title and then you got your
Your mid card,
established mid card.
yeah, TBS champion. So what the
Of
hell?
course, currently your mid card title holder is seems to be getting a lot more of the spotlight than your world title
Yeah,
holder.
yeah. Well, that's something we'll discuss in our booking decisions for sure. Very very dumb. So yeah, like I don't know how you fix that.
Well, fix it with the brand split. Have the Continental title on Collision, have the International title on Dynamite, and then have your TNT title defend it on TV every week. Because that's when they first rolled that out. I guess when Cody was still there and rolled it out. That was essentially like the old school NWA TV title, where it was defended on title, where it was defended on TV, whether it was every week or not. Maybe not every week, but it was mainly defended on TV, on TNT when it was on TNT.
I like that idea. Um, it's defended every week. If they did, I think that's the only solution. Really, is a brand split, and making the TNT Championship a gimmick of some sort. A TV title. But the problem that you run in with here is that they only have one world title. So is the one world champion just on both brands?
Sure.
Or do they introduce a second title?
No.
Or no, just go with the one title.
Just go with the one title. Just go with the one world title, and you
And I
can
guess
basically go from both.
And I guess the
From both
women's
shows.
world champion would also be on both shows.
Mhm.
I mean, what are you going to have the women's roster all on one show? I mean, I guess you could.
Or do you have another women's mid card title?
Mid card title.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the rosters and we'll see what we think of how that would work out. So, I don't have the entire roster here. I've written down everyone who I think is noteworthy. If you think I've missed somebody, because I am not as big of an AEW fan, or maybe not as big of an AEW fan as you, but maybe just a little less informed, experienced with AEW. But I think I picked out the noteworthy names here. I did leave out several individuals who we are assuming are leaving, including Ray Phoenix, or Phoenix, however you say it, Malachi Black, and what's the other guy's name? Ricky Starks. Yeah, I left them out. So let's look at the men's roster. The men's roster is Adam Cole, Bebe, Adam Page, Anthony Bowens of Acclaimed, Austin Gunn of the Guns, Big Bill, Billy Gunn, Bobby Lashley, Brian Cage, who I almost didn't put on this list. That roided freak, I don't know. I just don't think he'll ever do anything, but I know who he is. Brody King of the House of Black, Buddy Matthews of the House of Black. I've heard rumors that he wants to leave as well, which makes total sense. You probably
He just
wanna...
resigned not long ago.
Oh, did he? Okay.
He did, yeah.
I guess he changed his mind. Not sure why you would do that, knowing what you know. And your wife's on the, the other on the competition, but what do I know? Cash Wheeler of FTR. Chris Jericho, technically, but he's the ROH champion, so that's another thing we'll have to get into. Yeah. Christian Cage, who has the casino contract still, I think. It's their version of Money in the Bank. Colton Gunn of the Guns. Cope. I can't believe he's calling himself Cope. I can't believe that. I thought it was just a nickname, and then I saw it on the roster as Cope, and I'm like, oh.
That's Rated R Superstar Cope.
Rated R Superstar Cope, yeah. Weird. Danhausen. Darby Allin. Dax Hardwood of FTR. Dustin Rhodes, who's currently a ROH tag champion. I'm not sure with who.
Tag champion with Sammy Guevara, and trios champion or 6-man tag with the Von Erichs. He is Dustin Two Belts.
Apparently, yeah. Eddie Kingston, Hook, Jack Perry.
You forgot Hologram.
No, I didn't.
Hey, that's Tony's boy, Hologram. Yeah, thank you.
That's why he's not on there. Sure. Jay Lethal, who I haven't really seen, so I don't know if he's there, but I know who he is. Is he a producer now and not a wrestler? I have no clue. I have no clue what he's doing.
I think he spends more time on ROH.
Okay, that would make sense. Jay White, Keith Lee, who has been injured for ages. I think he's dealing with a sickness more than an injury, if I remember correctly.
Jeff Jarrett, missed him.
No, I didn't.
Hey, he's in a program with Maxwell Jacob Freeman right now.
I would not put him in a program at all. I don't know why he gets limelight. I have no clue.
They had quite the promo last night. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with Keith Lee. What a
health issues.
Health issues.
I think it might be the long-term COVID.
Oh, that sucks.
Related.
I know a lot of people with that long-term COVID shit. That sucks. Yeah. Killswitch. Who's the what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, but
Dinosaur.
he's the heavy. He's the heavy for patriarchy. That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah,
no,
he's the dinosaur.
I thought that was Mama Wayne.
No, that was Nick Wayne's mom.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna get heat for that. Call Nick Wayne's mom the heavy.
Hey, she's the biggest one of the group when they come out now.
Wow. Figuratively or physically?
Physically.
Okay.
She's the largest.
Kyle Fletcher. Kyle O'Reilly. Mark Briscoe. Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks.
Lance
Max
Archer.
Who?
Lance Archer. Who's in the tag team with Brian Cage in the Don Callis family.
Oh. Is he ever on TV?
They are, yeah.
Okay. Max Caster of Acclaimed.
Yep.
MJF. Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks. Nick Wayne of the Patriarchy.
And his mom.
And his mom. Orange Cassidy. Powerhouse Hobbs. Ricochet. Roderick Strong. Sammy Guevara. Shelton Benjamin. Swerve Strickland. The Blade and the Butcher. And Will Ospreay. I don't think I'm missing anyone.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I saw his name on the list, but I haven't seen him on doing anything. Is he more ROH? Oh, shit. Okay.
Yep, he returned last night.
I will add him to the list. So I guess he was injured for a bit?
He was written off TV, so he was filming some stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was doing Sweet Tooth.
Yep.
That's right.
I don't know if it was if it was only the Twisted Metal series.
Twisted Metal, yeah, Sweet Tooth, yeah, sorry. Sweet Tooth's another show. Oh, that is the women's roster. I added him to. Whoopski doodle. Let's move him over to here. Okay. So yeah, that is the men's roster. And then the women's roster, I've got much smaller than the men's roster, but not bad. Abaddon, Athena, who is more ROH than AEW, but she's there.
Anna Jay. Because she has been on TV.
I might have to edit my list a lot here, so let me just keep it on edit mode. Anna J. Don't know her. Athena, Britt Baker, Deanna Perrazzo. Is that how you say that? Jamie Perrazzo, Jamie Hayter. Julia Hart, is she a wrestler or is she more of a
ballet? A wrestler. Yep.
Okay. Camille, Chris Statlander, Marina Shafir, Mercedes Martinez, Nyla Rose.
She's mainly Ring of Honor.
Martinez. Okay.
Yep.
Ruby Soho, Saraya, who I haven't seen in
a long time.
I don't know what the hell she's doing. Serena Deeb, Sky Blue, Thunder Rosa, Tony Storm, and Willow Nightingale. I don't have Mina on here. I didn't see her on the list.
Technically, she's not AEW.
Oh, that would be why.
Interesting. Okay. May have missed.
So I only missed Anna Jay, really.
Harley Cameron. She's getting a lot of TV time right now.
Okay. Harley Cameron.
Sheeta's there. Thing with a lot of these women, they're not. They cycle a lot of them on and off TV a lot. Mm-hmm. Like Hikaru Shida might be on for a couple weeks and then she'll be off for months.
I mean, Britt Baker, same thing, kind of. She's kind of disappeared. But I mean, they don't give a whole lot of attention to the women's division. It's basically just
they don't.
two titles out of however many they have. So
one match on each show a week. Yeah. You might get some vignettes or some interviews.
Yeah.
On top of that, but not a focus.
Right.
Not a big
Definitely.
Focus.
Definitely not. Which is sad. Okay, so let's look at the champions. What do we do with the champions? We've kind of talked about separating the shows. So I mean, like they have 3 shows, right? They have Collision, Rampage, and Dynamite. Dynamite's obviously their Raw.
They no longer have Rampage.
Oh,
Rampage is off the air.
Oh, yep. Well, okay. So they have 2 shows.
They have 2 shows, 4 hours.
Interesting. Okay. Well, the first thing I would do is move the night, the nights that they're on. I mean, Wednesday Night Dynamite is kind of synonymous at this point, but I mean, you put Collision on Saturday. You're putting it there to die. I don't. Have we ever seen like viewer numbers for Collision?
They're not. I think they usually range between in the 400s to sometimes up in the 600s.
That's not bad for a Saturday show, I guess.
Never really paid too much attention lately. I think if it's in the 600s, it's in the low 600s now. But I think it's 400 to at max 600, pretty much.
Do you think they put it there because there was no free weekday?
Yes.
That's basically why they did it. They didn't want to compete with TNA or WWE.
Well, TNA or WWE or the NFL. Since Tony's involved with the NFL, he can't really do a conflict of interest with the NFL. Ratings.
When's the NFL typically on? Monday nights and Sundays?
It's on Monday nights, Sunday nights, and Thursday nights during the season.
Oof. Yeah, so their only option would be to go up against WWE.
Yep.
Or do a Saturday show, which...
Now, they kind of, when they announced it and stuff, they did as kind of an honor and homage to the old Saturday night wrestling show on TBS. That was on at 6:05. I can't remember. It was just Saturday night. I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, they made a big deal about it.
I feel like
WCW Saturday night.
hmm,
Because that used to be on at 6:05
I feel like
on
if we
TBS.
did, yeah, I feel like if we did the brand split, I don't think it would work because if half of your roster is on Saturday, you're competing against WWE's pay-per-views, first of all, and Saturday night's main events. So that show's going to take major hits anytime those are on.
College football here in the
Yeah.
States.
If it was up to me, I might look at doing Friday nights before SmackDown. So an earlier show. So like SmackDown starts at what, 8 Eastern?
Starts at 8 Eastern.
I might do like a 6 to 8.
Then do you run it live or taped?
I don't think it matters, honestly. I don't think. I mean, everyone prefers live because, there's no one is surprised, when it's a taped show.
I mean, personally, for me, it's hard to watch a show taped.
Yeah, I mean, they could go live and then they could just do a replay of it, like after SmackDown, something like that, like a late one, like a late replay. I'm sure they could do that. But I think putting it on Saturday is if you're doing a brand split, it won't survive.
It's tough.
Yeah, Friday. It seems like that's the only option to me that makes any sense. Is because you don't want to put it up against SmackDown, but if you put it before SmackDown, you might get some WWE people tuning in before SmackDown to check out what's going on AEW. That's my only, and it doesn't fight against anything that way. Like what's on a Friday night typically? Nothing, right?
No idea.
Like Friday nights, you don't get sport, major sports things. You don't get pay-per-views. You don't get anything crazy like that, right? So I think that's what I would do. I mean, I'd have to look at it a little bit deeper, but that to me seems like the better option than keeping Collision on Saturday. I think that there's too much pain putting it on Saturday. I think, but who knows? I mean, maybe they've done market research that shows that they would only get like 200,000 viewers at 6:00 on a Friday night. Who knows? But man, like. You'd have to prepare.
Saturday nights are rough.
Yeah, Saturday nights are rough. You'd have to prepare and know ahead of time not to put anything super important on shows where you're going up against a WWE PLE. Or college football or UFC potentially does stuff on Saturdays sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brutal. Yeah, that would be I would go with the Friday deal just to see, just to give it a try because Saturdays are brutal. All right, let's make the assumption that it is one roster. For our fantasy booking, I think that's the safest bet because there's too many unknowns. Doing the brand split idea, we could do it, but I don't think it's realistic. So I think you and I both agree the first thing that they need to do is change the TNT Championship to a TV-like title, as you said, to make it something that stands out. But what do you do with the International and the Continental at that point? I would just merge them personally. I don't think there's any need for two.
I know.
Or you make it incredibly obvious that the Continental title is a lower tier card.
Yeah, I mean, you really need to make one seem more important than another.
100%. Because right now they look like equal. I mean, you have Okada on one and Takeshita on the other. Like, they both seem pretty important.
I'm looking at it right now, and don't get any difference in it.
No, there isn't. No. So yeah, I would label somehow the Continental Championship as like a light heavyweight title. You know, the
No,
not the
yeah,
low card, but like, you know, um, not the mid card, not quite the mid card, or make the international a main event title that's not the main event. So make it very important and make a Continental Championship sort of the mid card belt. You know, maybe the international something to give the main event or something to do when the world title is booked with other people that are
yeah.
top tier. Um, that being said, Okada can't be a Continental Champion if that's the way that we would book it. He's too high profile, right? I mean, he did win our
Yeah,
most overrated
yeah.
superstar of the year award for 2024.
I mean, the big thing with that Continental title is that it's tied to the Continental Classic tournament. Outside of that, it's just not that important.
If anything, just make it a trophy instead of a title that they defend. You know, just have the Continental Classic every year, and they get the kind of a King of the Ring type of thing, and just drop
Yeah,
that belt. You don't defend it. It's just a tournament, and maybe the winner gets the Continental title for the year, and maybe they get a title shot, something like that.
they already have that. That's the Owen Hart tournament.
God, how many tournaments these guys have? Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh yeah, plus they have Gold Rush, right, or something like that.
Uh, I mean, they
Or is
have
that
like casino gauntlets.
yeah, Jesus. Okay.
Um, but I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, WWE just had two tournaments of their own.
Yeah, but I mean they were for the first ever title, holders. So I'm okay with that. Um I guess plus they had the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
All right. The World Tag and World Trios I would merge, and I would have one tag title where you can have three or two. It's either a 2-on-2 or a 3-on-3. That would just be how I book that. I don't think there needs to be two separate titles for that.
I, I don't mind them being separate as long as they're still relevant. As long as they still, whether you want to call it a story or not, they just need to feel relevant. Um, those trio, for a while, the trios championship was more relevant than the tag team titles. When it was the Bucks against Death Triangle, Pac and the Lucha Brothers. When it was the Gun Club, um, the acclaimed, or yeah, the acclaimed with Billy Gunn and um, the Guns with Jay White. Um,
My
it's just kind
problem
of goes
with
in
the
cycles, I guess.
my problem with the trios championship specifically is that I feel like it's only there because AEW has way too many factions. So they're like, hey, let's give them all something to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, that's not a great reason to have a specific championship created. It's like, it's there to solve a problem that shouldn't be there to begin with. There's way too many factions. That's one thing I should have listed is the factions. I mean, looking at this roster, we've got Undisputed Kingdom, the Acclaimed, the was it the Gold Bullet Club or Gold Bang Bang Gang? Isn't that what it
Bang
is?
Bang Gang. Yeah.
Bang Bang Gang. House of Black, FTR, I guess, kind of, FT rated R or whatever.
Rated FTR.
Yeah. Patriarchy, the Conglomeration. Who else we got? We got the Young
Don Callis
Bucks,
family.
the Don Callis family, Butcher and the Blade,
The Elite.
the Elite.
You just say the patriarchy. La Faction Ingobernable.
Yeah, that's a mouthful. Does Chris Jericho still have his
The Learning Tree, yeah.
the Learning Tree Society or whatever the hell that thing's
The Hurt
called?
Syndicate.
The Hurt Syndicate. Yeah, like holy crap! Like this,
Outriders.
and this is for one fucking roster. This is not a split roster. This is all the factions that there are.
Yeah.
Like that's too many. That's just too many. That's one thing that I would just eliminate right away. Get rid of 3/4 of the factions. There's way too many. None of them stand out. I mean, really, which ones stand out? I would keep the patriarchy because it's funny. House of Black makes sense, although it's not going to soon. Once Malachi is out, it's like you guys got to separate.
Yeah.
The conglomeration just needs to go away. Yeah, the Death Riders, as much as I hate their gimmick, they at least stand out as a faction.
The Elite.
The Elite's not even a thing anymore, really. It's just
Right.
the Young Bucks, right? Like, yeah, Jack Perry's technically in the Elite, but it's like you're just throwing people in and out like the NWO at this point. You know?
Like Cleo Kata is too.
Yeah, like stupid. It's just a bunch of random names thrown together. It's just annoying. So I mean, really, they only have like 2, 3, maybe 4 factions that I would keep, and the rest are just, I mean, they're just annoying. So that's why I would merge the tag titles and the trios titles. Just put them together. You can either defend your title with 2v2 or 3v3. And that can be the unique factor of the AEW World Tag Champs, is you can defend it in 2 different ways. TBS Championship's fine. I mean, I would move Mercedes Moné off of the title soon. But who to put with her? Who to replace her with? I mean, I'm pretty high on Chris Statlander, honestly, at this point. Or Willow Nightingale.
I think Willow could be set for a main title, for the world title.
People love her. She loses a lot, though.
People cheer for her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And she's great in the ring.
All it takes is someone to write a pencil with winner next to her name on it. Really.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, the crowd pops for her.
You'll have to fill me in on who's getting the biggest pops right now. How is Mariah May doing in terms of crowd reaction?
She gets a good reaction.
She gets a good reaction still? Okay.
Yep. She still gets, whether it's good or bad, she gets a lot of reaction.
Okay. I would keep her there. I would put Willow over Mercedes Moné to get the feel good win and to take Mercedes out for a bit. Have her do a stepping stone, before she gets to the world title. I think that's okay.
Oh, 2 that you missed out on when you went over the men's roster, and I don't know why they're not on there. The Outrunners.
Oh yeah, are they ROH?
No.
Huh.
I don't know why they're not on the.
Because just like WWE.com, whoever runs these websites are asinine.
Yeah.
Let me check ROH's roster here. So ROH, we got the world champion Chris Jericho, the women's world champion Athena, the pure champion, don't know what that means, Lee Moriarty, the TV champion Commander. We already went over the tag champs, and the women's world TV champ is Red Velvet. Let's see who's on this roster that I recognize. Christopher Daniels. I thought he was in the AEW too.
He is.
But he's technically an ROH. Yeah, he's on the Ring of Honor.
I have no idea.
Oh, speaking of that, speaking of ROH, just turn ROH into the farm for AEW. Like ROH needs to be NXT for AEW.
But then what do you do with all those people that are ROH specific?
Bring them up to AEW, I guess. For those that are ready, you know. But like their roster is so bloated for one show. It's ridiculous.
I mean, there's a lot of people that appear on both ROH roster and AEW roster.
Yeah. Oh, Tony Nese is in ROH.
Yeah. Wheeler Yuta says.
Yeah, that's odd. he's on AEW television all the time, but he's on the ROH roster. I don't understand that. Sammy Guevara makes sense. Yeah, Mike Bennett, isn't he an Undisputed Kingdom?
Yep, Matt Taven.
So why the hell is he? This is the thing that they got to figure out. This is why I'm like, you got to turn ROH into a NXT. You gotta do it, because right now it's stupid. You own both, and you're trying to grow both. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna grow both. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Or like you and I were talking about with the brand split, Ring of Honor and AEW Dynamite. Those are your two brand split rosters. You get rid of Collision, and you get ROH on TV instead. Could do that.
But then you get that entire AEW roster for 1 2-hour program a week.
No. You would split that roster in ROH. You would divide it between ROH and AEW. Yeah. Maybe have a draft, between ROH and AEW. That makes more sense to me, than having a roster on Collision, a roster on Dynamite, and then you have this ROH roster which is mixed with both of the rosters from AEW. Like, it's too convoluted and just starts to not make sense at some point. I mean, it already doesn't make sense when you have ROH champions show up on AEW television all the time, where it's like, why are you cross branding this shit? It just drives me nuts. But I guess WWE and TNA are kind of starting to do it too. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know. It muddies the waters to a point where I don't enjoy it. All right, let's get back to the champions here. Okay, so we turned the TNT Championship into a TV title. International stays the same. It's essentially the mid-card title. Continental, I think we said, turn it into a King of the Ring type trophy instead of a title.
I mean, you can keep it, but I don't know.
I just don't think they need a low card, championship. They could, but there's a reason WWE got rid of their, Do they even have the Cruiserweight title anymore? I think they got rid of that, right?
No.
Yeah, they got rid of the Cruiserweight title. They got rid of the light heavyweight title. They got rid of the European title. It's like, the lowest rung on the ladder titles don't ever seem to last. So I would just get rid of it.
I guess it's easy to make a story. It's easy to book a story with that, just because it's a title that you can give someone a title shot to. That you can, it's an easy way to make a match without having to write a story arc for it, I guess.
Do we want to give AEW excuses to not come up with a story, though?
I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, I would drop it. I would drop it. I would just make it a yearly tournament, the Classic, and just be done with it. It's just it muddies the waters too much with what they mean. Yeah, I just don't know what else to do with it. We've gone over the tag titles, the TBS title, and obviously the world title and the women's world title. They're fine. You know, I do think that the AEW men's world title needs a new belt. It's starting to look a little old to me. It's a nice belt.
No one's seen it in months. No one's seen it in 3 months.
That's true. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're hiding it away so that when it pops out, it looks brand new.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah,
cool.
that's what that looks like. It looks kind of cool now.
Yeah. I would first of all, I would make it smaller. It's way too fucking big. It's so huge. It's a massive belt. It is nice. I will acknowledge that, but I do think that it could use a revamp at this point. I don't even know what the women's world title looks like. Does it look the same? Just a women's version? Or is it completely different? Let's see. No, it looks completely different. Well, it looks similar, but it's different enough to... Yeah, I think the women's world title belt looks pretty cool. I don't have a problem with that.
Definitely looks better than it originally did.
Oh, the one with the circles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was fugly. That thing was so small. Oh my god. Yeah, that was bad belt. Yeah, they need to shrink the men's belt a little bit, I think. It's a nice belt though. I'll give it that. I guess I haven't seen the other belts. Let's see, we got the TBS Championship. Oh my god, that thing's so ugly. Just slap their logo in the middle of the belt and call it a day. Oh god. Yeah, that belt's so ugly. But it's basically the same thing as the TNT belt. Just slap the logo on there and then color it. Yeah. I also don't like the fact that they used the same colors as Raw and SmackDown for those belts. I don't know if anyone ever pointed that out, but the TNT Championship is red and the TBS is blue.
Yeah, I guess it does, but not a big deal to me.
No. But, I mean, it's I don't know. Both those belts are pretty ugly. They're identical belts with a different logo in the middle.
Yeah.
They're pretty ugly. The tag belts look okay. The trios belts look okay. What's this other belt I'm looking at? Oh, is this that must be the Continental or the International belt. Can't tell. Oh, the All Atlantic, which doesn't exist anymore, right?
That was what the International used to be.
Okay, that's the old belt then. Okay. All right, so where do we start with how to fix AEW? We've gone over the titles, we've gone over the pay-per-views, we've gone over the champions. What do we do?
I mean, my issue, I watch it, but it doesn't grab me. It doesn't grab my attention and keep my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if there's...
I mean, they have a great roster.
Fix.
No, there's not an easy fix. That's definitely true. Okay, well, let's look at individual parts here.
Yeah.
And see what would make sense to do. So let's start with Christian Cage holding the casino contract. What would you do with that?
See, I think...
Because it only lasts a year, right? Like the Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
And he's had it for a while. When did he win that?
He won that All In.
Yeah, so he's only got like 5 months? Less than 5 months.
7 months.
Oh, because All In this year's... Is it? No, it's in March, isn't it?
No, All In Texas is July.
July. Okay. Yeah, so he's got 7 months. Yeah, you're right. Oh, that's significant. Okay. 7 months to cash that in. Hmm.
I think what would have been cool um, to get more heat on him would be to have had Darby Allin beat Moxley for the title,
And then take it
and
off
then
Darby.
Christian, yep, and then Christian cash in right away that night and beat Darby for it that night.
Ooh.
That way you get Darby, beloved Darby for whatever reason he is, win the title for AEW, and then
But not
Christian
actually
come
carry it.
down and not actually carry it more than 5 minutes.
How would you have Darby beat Moxley, though? That's a tough thing. It would have to be like a death match, where they kill each other.
No, I mean, that would be them having the match, and then the Death Riders get involved, and then you have Team AEW guys, whether that's FTR, whether that's Orange Cassidy, whether that's Jay White, whoever, come down, fight off.
So a big bloodline rules match.
Yeah, basically,
yeah,
or no DQ, false count anywhere,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And a group of AEW guys come down, fight off the Death Riders, and it just leaves them two in the ring, and somehow Darby beats Moxley. That they're both knocked out. Darby falls on top of him, counts. He gets the pin, but he's knocked out, and Christian comes down. And
are they still teasing Kill Switch turning on Christian, or is that just not a thing anymore?
Killswitch has been out with some really severe health issues.
Oh yeah, he had that lung issue, right?
Yes.
Yeah, double pneumonia. Shit.
Yeah, and he's still not back yet.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
Well, assuming he's back. Oh, so we don't know. We don't know if they intended on continuing that angle or not.
Right.
Okay. So it's basically just Christian Cage and Nick Wayne and Nick Wayne's mom and the patriarchy.
And Kip Sabian.
Who?
Exactly. Kip Sabian.
Okay. That's not good. Okay. Okay, well, I mean, I like that idea. The only problem I have with it is we still, like 6 months later, don't really buy into the reason that Death Riders are doing what they're doing. So maybe this is a good way of killing that storyline, because we all assumed that there was a bigger reason behind what he was doing, and or that Shane McMahon was coming in and it was going to be like a Shane McMahon takeover type of story. But that never happened.
Yeah, towards the beginning he was hinting that there was a bigger purpose, a bigger person behind it, or a bigger thing behind it. But that never materialized.
Which was bullshit and never had materialized. And basically the whole idea of this group is that they hate what AEW's become and they want to kill everyone.
Yep. That they hate, that people don't take it seriously. It's just fun and games. They're here collecting paycheck, and no one's worthy of even just seeing the title. That's why we haven't seen it. That's why no one's seen it. People don't take it seriously. It's just fun and games for them, but it's like life and death for the Death Riders, pretty much. Is kind of the gist of it.
It could be a good gimmick, but they've ruined it with a couple of different things. They've ruined it with the trying to murder people angle. That's just dumb. That's just taking it to a level that's just stupid. That is almost like irony. Well, that you hate it for how people don't take it seriously, so you try to murder them. Okay, it's like that's partially why the audience is divided on you, is because of weird shit like that. And then the other thing is that what makes a good heel, and I think we've discussed this before, is that the heels are correct in what they say. That's what makes a good heel, is telling you something that you know is true, but you don't want to admit because it sucks to admit. And the idea that they're saying that no one's taking things seriously and they don't want AEW to succeed and they're just there for a paycheck, I don't think is true and was never really true. You know, like AEW came in as this like alternative to wrestling. Yep. Like, if anything, he should be the Death Rider should be against the crowd. You know, the people that would rather see AEW die. You know, those people. Which is not me, by the way. I'm not. I don't want to see AEW die. I like the fact that there's competition, but AEW has turned so sour that it's easy to crap on it. So I don't think the Death Riders make a good group. They don't make good heels because they're not telling the truth. You know, they're. I don't like them because they're annoying and kind of immature in terms of the storytelling. It just doesn't work for me. I don't know how you feel about them at this point. Except the idea is there, but it has not been executed well, in my opinion.
No, it's just very muddled and very. A lot of his promos are just very vague and very mystic.
Yeah, very very Bray Wyatt-esque. R.I.P.
Yeah,
where it's like it feels like this should be going somewhere, but it's been 6 months since he did this. It's time to, you know, shit or get off the pot at this point. You know what I mean? It's like what was the purpose of this? So basically, you're just keeping the title from people and hiding it because people don't take it seriously.
Right.
So like you don't think that the audience deserves to see the title, or you don't think that anyone deserves to win it? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
What that means, you know?
Yeah,
like
that there's nobody there worthy of being the champion.
Yeah, but you're not even worthy of being the champion apparently, because you're just keeping it to hide it. So it's like what are you? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Yeah, like I said, yeah, there was a way of doing this story that just this is not how it should have played out. And you know, y'all know how mad I was at the Daniel Bryan Danielson retirement match. How shitty that was. Not only is the match way too short and has a pretty crappy ending, but then you put a bag around his head. It's like, oh my god. I would have been okay with it had it gone somewhere, but it never went anywhere. So I agree with you. Get Darby Allin to take the title off of Moxley and then have Christian Cage come in and swoop it up to continue to be the best heel in the game.
But now, supposedly, Darby Allin's off TV for a while, so he can prepare and climb Mount Everest.
No, not this again.
Yep.
Great.
This again. Yep.
He's gonna die up there.
I mean, definitely.
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't either, but like, he's a tiny dude. He's got no meat on him. He better be packing the parkas.
He's got a lot of courage.
Yeah,
a lot of balls. Good for him.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, do what you dream of doing, I guess.
Yep.
Well, okay, so if Darby can't do that because he's off climbing a mountain, then what do we do? So, I mean, I don't see a world where Christian Cage cashing in on Jon Moxley makes sense.
No, not a heel on heel.
So Moxley's got to lose it first. So if it's not going to be Darby, who else could do it?
I mean, right now they're seemingly building to a. I don't even want to say the word.
Oh no.
To a Cope and Mox. I don't want to say Cope. They're seemingly building to an Adam Copeland and Mox match. But I don't think Adam Copeland's the one to do it either.
No, no.
It's.
I mean, even if he did, no one's gonna give a shit. It's basically just a WWE match. I mean, really, it's like it's Edge versus Dean Ambrose. That's what it is. It's like, I don't know.
I mean, there's one person
excite me.
who I think, based on their history in AEW and his position with AEW, but that's not what he should be going for right now, and that's Kenny Omega.
Yeah, no.
I mean, he really should be going after Okada and
yes,
the Bucks who put him out they didn't put him out, but last time we had seen him before he was out for months was when he got beat down by Okada and the Bucks and Jack Perry.
Thinking about your Darby Allin idea, what if you replaced Darby Allin with Orange Cassidy?
They've done Orange Cassidy against him already.
Oh.
When they
so they fucked that up. Look. Great. Okay.
I mean, unless they try to build him up again.
No.
Jay White?
No. Oh, God, no. Fuck, no.
I don't know.
Oh, my God.
I don't know who.
I'm looking up and down the roster.
Does Adam Cole save AEW?
You know who I'd like to take it from him, but he has absolutely no momentum whatsoever, is Swerve. Take it back.
I can see Swerve.
I can see Swerve for a couple of reasons. A, he needs a win. B, him and Moxley could probably have a great, hardcore style match. Those two are fucking bonkers nuts when it comes to that stuff. And he's a face, right? People would cheer for it, and then people would be that much more pissed when Christian Cage comes down to cash it and wins. I think that would be a pretty good pick. It's the only one that makes sense to me besides Orange Cassidy. What is Swerve doing right now?
Feuding with Ricochet. Dr. Trevor. With the golden scissors.
Dr. Trevor?
Dr. Trevor. That's what he looks like. Trevor, his real first name.
Oh.
But he looks like a doctor when he comes to the ring with the suit and the tie and the
interesting
scissors in his pocket.
How has the heel turn been?
I am as or more interested in Ricochet than I was when he was in WWE. For what it's worth.
Which is not saying a whole lot.
Which is not saying a whole lot, but it's
not a negative. Okay.
It's not a negative. He's done something to differentiate himself.
Yeah,
he was.
I was very happy when he turned on Swerve and did that whole scissor thing. I liked it.
Yep. Instead of just being another one of the flippy guys there, he's doing something with his personality.
Speaking of which, has he had a match since he turned?
No.
That's what I'm most interested in, is to see what he does in the ring. Because you can't do flippy flip McFlip when you're a heel,
You can't do that, especially with the same kind of mannerisms and that kind of thing.
That choreography look that he's got.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we got the world title. Mariah May. What will we do with Mariah May?
Well, Toni Storm just won the Casino Gauntlet for the title shot at...
it's just a number one contenders tournament.
Yep. Well, it's the gauntlet match where they start out with two and then randomly another person comes in and first pinfall wins.
Right.
So
that's a cool match.
Toni Storm won that last night, so she gets the title shot at Grand Slam Australia.
Because of course she had to earn it. She doesn't just get a rematch.
Right.
Okay, well that's cool. I'm okay with that.
And And supposedly that is, and I mean, they announced it last night on the show that that will be the main event for that show.
Wait, what show is it again?
Grand Slam Australia.
Oh, Grand Slam. If it happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm okay with that. Does Tony remember anything yet, or is she still
No.
punk rock? Jesus.
Yep, she's still punk rock.
All right. Okay. Okay, so that's the world title. So okay, so we've done all the titles. We've done the pay-per-views. We've talked about the roster. We've talked about the way too many factions. Where do we go from here?
I mean,
I'm not sure what else to go with.
They have their passionate fan base.
Yeah.
Which in some ways seems to be dwindling.
Yeah.
But at some point, I mean, what number is that just that will not turn away, no matter how bad it gets?
Let me look up AEW pay-per-view ratings.
Like, what is that
rates.
bottom line? I mean, if you go by cage match ratings, which not that I trust them, but I give more credence to those than I do like Meltzer star ratings or any other PWI ratings or any of those, just because it takes votes from fans, and some shows get upwards of 2, 3, or 200, 300, or even more votes. So I guess that's my way of saying it's a better sampling size of actual fans than just wrestling journalists.
Okay, looking at their pay-per-view buy rates are like all over the place. They are not consistent. That is for damn sure. So the very first Double or Nothing in 2019 brought in 98,000 buys, which is pretty low. That's not great.
Which one was that?
The original Double or Nothing, the very first one. 98,000 seems low to me. But I wonder what happened. Something must have happened at the Revolution 2021 pay-per-view, because they went from the previous pay-per-view of 75,000 buys to 135,000 buys. So what the hell drew at Revolution 2021?
That was, I think, yep, that was the exploding barbed wire death match.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Why? What? That was a terrible show. Although it was the pandemic, though, so people were probably
You didn't know that
starving.
going into it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, well, here's the big one. All Out 2021 jumped from 115,000 from the previous pay-per-view to 215,000. What the hell happened at All Out 2021?
CM Punk, first match.
Oh, there you go. And they said he didn't draw. Stupid people.
Yep.
That's so fucking funny. Okay.
They also had that killer cage match for the tag team titles. Lucha Brothers against the Young Bucks.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Which was a killer cage match.
I'm trying to find the buy rates for 2024. Oh, here we go. Oh, you have to pay to get access to that shit. Screw you. There's got to be somewhere.
Yeah. It's on Wiki.
Is it?
Should be. 23. Nope, not that. That. All in 2023 was 175 to 200.
Which makes sense. It's their big stadium show.
Yeah.
What's their what was the last 2 or 3?
Revolution 2024, Sting's last match, 180.
Okay.
Dynasty.
Daniel Bryan's last match, or Bryan Danielson's last match.
No, that was
No, that's Wrestle Dream.
Yeah, it was Wrestle Dream.
Yeah.
Swerve defeated Samoa Joe to win the title.
How much was that?
100, anywhere from 100 to 108.
Okay, so significantly lower, which makes sense. Sting's last match would have built high.
Double or Nothing, 24 was 134.
Okay.
Forbidden Door, 110.
Okay.
All In, about 170.
Okay. All Out.
A big one. All Out, doesn't say.
Oh, probably nothing for them and Wrestle Dream and.
Yeah, it doesn't say. Wrestle Dream in Full Gear.
Yeah, and At World's End. Those are the mysteries.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder why they're not sharing those.
I don't know. I mean, you would think they'd.
Wrestle Dream did 105.
Okay, I mean they're steady.
They're holding out. What was the one after Wrestle Dream? Full Gear.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh no, that's it's not 2024. Yeah, no numbers. I can't find good numbers for Full Gear. Oh, is this one here? Nope, they never released Full Gear buys. And World's End.
I mean, it looks like they're in 100 to 115.
So they're not growing. They're definitely shrinking because 2023 they were hovering around 150. So they're definitely losing steam. Yeah. Yeah, they were in like the 120 to 150 range in 2023. So it seems like people are willing to buy it still as long as there's something significant on the card.
I mean, but they know the matches are going to be good.
I don't know, man.
Well,
there was quite a few pay-per-views last year that left a lot to be desired, shall we say.
I mean, in general, the AEW faithful love that style.
It's true. It's true.
With Swerve,
so is that 100,000 people basically? And that's their 100 to 110. That's their
households.
Yeah, households.
Which I guess might equate to 200.
200,000 people.
200 to 225, 250. And then there are people, you might have one household that has some people over to watch it, People pitch in, people stream, people watch it through other ways.
Have tickets gone on sale for Revolution? No, doesn't look like it. Oh, buy tickets. I'm just curious how they're selling. It's loading the map right now.
Yeah, just see what the pricing is too.
Oh, there's still a lot of tickets available, but it's mostly the expensive ones.
Section 107.
Yeah, they're not terrible.
Floor seats 110. That's actually not
compared to 10K for WWE front row tickets. 659 for front row on the not hard camera side. Or which side is their hard camera? It's on the stages on the left, right?
Yeah.
So they've sold out most of this side where the hard cam is. They haven't sold out of all where the camera's facing, which is weird. Did they price those more expensively? Yes, they did. Why would you do that? Because you want to be on camera, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, their prices aren't bad though. Comparatively, I should say.
Yeah.
Like if an AEW show came to Toronto, I'd pay $60 to sit in lower bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I am interested to see what the pricing is going to be for the show here in Atlanta in 3 weeks.
The WWE show?
No, the AEW. Tickets go on sale. General pricing goes on sale tomorrow.
Is that a house show or a Dynamite or?
Is there a difference? No, it is a Dynamite taping.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let me know. Keep me apprised of what those prices end up being. When do they go on sales? Did you say?
Well, the pre-sale went on today.
Oh, okay, tomorrow. You said general.
But yeah, general. They said the passcode last night on Dynamite, but I didn't get it, and I couldn't find it when I tried to look for it earlier. Or else I would go on right now and look and see. They are.
What's the date of the Dynamite?
February 5th.
I got it. College Park, Georgia?
Yep.
Georgia? Hero Standard. So not a big arena. It's not.
No,
just
that's where they have only. The WNBA and the G League.
They're about the same prices. That's the pay-per-view by the looks of it. Lower bowl is about $100, which it's basically all lower bowl or you're on the floor. So once again, they've sold out on the hard cam side. Oh no, they didn't. They show where the camera is on this diagram. So they're shooting with the stage on the right at this show for some reason.
See, I think that might be the camera of like a hard cam of when they do the basketball.
Oh, I see.
I'm looking at the diagram and there's no tickets on sale on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. Those would be cheaper because you're not on TV.
Now, I do notice on the floor, there's only
plus
3 rows.
Well, that explains why they're more expensive.
There's only 3 rows of seats. Oh, that's
a small arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are still kind of expensive. $150 for lower bowl, $100 for lower bowl. Oh, here we go. $175. Holy shit.
Yeah. I
That's a
went.
little
I
steep.
went to the Dynamite. It was a 2-pack. It was a Dynamite. It was a ticket for Dynamite and a ticket for the Collision taping the next night. So Wednesday and a Thursday. It was the week right after Revolution. I got the 2-pack, one ticket for each day, total for like $85. It was
It
like
looks like
the fifth row up on the like facing the ramp,
it
which was
looks
not bad.
like does the gray mean sold out there? It must mean sold out.
Gray?
Yeah.
No, that just means it is not on sale yet.
Why would they sell such specific seats?
I
There's not
don't
a
know.
lot of pre-sale available. Weird. The cheapest seat is. Well, would you be going alone?
Yeah.
Uh, the cheapest seat is $80, and that would be in section 113, row C, which is it's the 13th row up. It's a good seat as long as you don't get any like morons in front of you.
If
Well,
you look 9 days prior to that, uh, you said the cheapest were what? 80, right?
80, yeah, about halfway up the lower bowl.
10 days before that, you can go to State Farm Arena for, see the lowest price, $60. You can go see Raw in Atlanta. The go home Raw before the Royal Rumble.
They did say that there's a SmackDown coming to Toronto. I think it's either the day before or I think it's the day before Elimination Chamber. I looked
Oh
at
yeah.
that. I was considering that, but the prices are still kind of insane for whatever reason. All right. Well, let us know if you get tickets,
I will.
and we'll see if we can see on television.
You can count the people.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else that we want to talk about AEW wise?
Um, I mean, looking at the titles, what do you see him doing this year? And then I guess in general, tag team. You see any tag team stepping up? Um,
I mean the Outrunners will probably get them at some point, just because are they still over?
yes,
Yeah,
for
they'll
whatever
probably get them
reason
at
they
some
are.
point. Yeah.
Sooner rather than later. Uh, One faction I would like to see try to take AEW back from the Death Runners, uh, the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, they're both heels right now, so they'd have to turn the Hurt Syndicate
You
face,
could
which
get, you could get them to cheer. You could get the fans to cheer for them
yeah, when
because they're
they
stars.
I know I was kind of just confused when they came in as heels. I was like, why didn't you put Swerve with them and make them, faces? Like
Yeah.
it seemed so obvious. I'm like, even when they did the whole call out Swerve thing when they debuted, I was like, okay, this is a Swerve. Literally, they're going to swerve, and Swerve's going to turn on whoever, and he's going to join them. Nope, they just beat him down.
Now, what I don't want to see with them is Ricochet join them
Mm,
because
yeah,
that would just scream
WWE.
WWE even more.
Yeah, Yeah. Keith Lee joining them would be cool.
I would just like to see Keith Lee healthy enough again to wrestle.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Whether it's there, whether it's back in WWE with his wife, or what.
Who's his wife again? Meechin?
Yep.
Yeah. Wonder how long his contract is for.
And her sister is Big E's
Oh, really?
significant other. Yep.
Wow.
The one that was referenced in the New Day.
New
breakup
Day?
When they broke.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about with them too.
Yeah.
All right.
What about Page? What do you see Hangman Page? Do you think he's...
Man.
A lot of people are saying that he's the one to take it from Moxley.
But he's a heel too.
The fans still cheer him.
I mean, yeah, you can... Yeah, I mean, I love Adam Page. I think he's fantastic. If there was anyone on the AEW roster right now that I think would work instantaneously in WWE, it's Adam Page. There's no doubt. He's a big guy. He's tall. He's great in the ring. He's got the look. Dude's a fucking star. Like,
I mean,
you can say what you want about MJF, but I think he would be swallowed up by WWE right now. I think Adam Page would stand out and be amazing
he could
in WWE. I love Adam Page. Yeah, when he held the title for as long as he did, he held it like I looked at Seth Rollins with the world title, where I'm like, this makes sense.
Yeah,
you hold that title right. You know, it looks good on you. So I love Adam Page. I love Adam Cole, but he hasn't really done anything.
no.
I mean, to me, the highlight of the last 2 or 3 years is it may be longer than that ago at this point, because time is soup. But Adam Cole versus MJF at All in London was awesome.
It was good.
That was so good. That was one of the best stories that the company's ever produced. Like, it was just so good. And that's because it was very WWE, you know? The best friends.
Yeah, it was very sports entertainment.
It was so good, you know? And they didn't learn from that. They doubled down on the indie shit. And it was like, don't you guys get it? You haven't had a crowd that loud.
They were cheering for a kangaroo kick.
Yeah.
They popped that loud for a kangaroo kick.
And a hug.
Yeah.
Because it was so good. You know, and when the match got stopped or whatever it was, and Adam Cole asked for 5 more minutes, and MJF was like, we're going till we fucking burn the house, whatever he said, and just lit the fucking crowd on fire. I was like, yes! Yeah! Like, that was so good. That's one of the most memorable moments in AEW for me. And then ever since then, they just went downhill. Like, it's just they haven't captured that magic since. It's really annoying.
Yep.
I do agree that yeah, they have talent, man. They have such good talent. I do think that they need to stop putting so much emphasis on WWE guys, though. They're making the same mistakes that WCW made. They're making the same mistakes that TNA made. Make your own stars and feature them at the top of your card. That is what gets companies going. That is what gets companies over. I cannot stand when TNA put WWE people in there. I couldn't stand it when AEW started doing it. I was like, oh, come on, this is not happening again. Yeah. It's like you're doomed to repeat history if you don't look at it and learn from it. And they didn't learn from WCW and TNA, and it's like, you have such good talent. Raise them up. The fact that Orange Cassidy has not won the title yet is baffling to me. He's been so over and has put on such good matches. I don't get it. Instead, you put an ex-WWE guy up there. And yeah, Moxley is more of an AEW guy than he is a WWE guy at this point. I agree with that.
I agree with that. He's so far from what his WWE was that.
Yeah, he's not Dean Ambrose. That's for sure. You know, at the same time though, Christian Cage, amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, so I can't just specify that, you know, the ex-WWE guys coming in is a detriment. I think we talked about this before, but it's the ex-WWE guys that come in and are the same person.
Exactly.
You brought that up, and I was like, yeah. That's why I don't give a shit about Edge. I'm like, you're the Rated R superstar still.
Yep.
Seen it.
Same music, same entrance.
Yep. Don't need to see it anymore. I'm tired of it. Who else came over?
Totally different.
Swerve completely reinvented himself. Yeah. Ricochet's reinventing himself now. We'll see how that goes.
Yep.
But it's definitely what he should be doing. Yep. Keith Lee didn't work.
Adam Cole, same. Roderick Strong, same.
Adam Cole, same. Yeah, none of that worked.
The whole Hurt Syndicate right now is the same.
Yeah, that's not going to work unless they make some significant changes.
Yeah.
House of Black, really, it was fine. You know, but then you look at all the stuff that AEW produced themselves, and you go, "Holy shit, Adam Page, one of the best attractions they have. Holy shit, The Acclaimed, one of the best attractions they have. Who else you got there? Eddie Kingston, amazing, you know, absolutely fantastic. Danhausen, hilarious.
I mean, Danhausen was as big on the indies and in ROH before.
And that's fine. They can bring indie gimmicks in. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that because you haven't been overexposed to them, like WWE does, right?
And honestly, they don't like the term, but he is sports entertainment. And people will go to that.
Yeah.
As good or bad as it is, people will drift towards it.
Yep. Darby Allin, same thing.
For whatever reason, people like him.
For whatever reason, I like him. Hook. He's got something there. He's not there yet, but he's got something there, and you can tell.
But I don't know if they can tap into it.
Yeah, he might be better off actually in WWE than
he would be served
or TNA
a lot better in the Performance Center learning.
Yeah, that's true.
Whether or not he mixed it to TV on NXT or even the main roster, he's some kind of Performance Center like that.
Yep. Controversial, but Jack Perry.
He's too indie for me.
He is, but I like his new heel character, the Scapegoat. I like it better. I mean, Jungle Boy was good, but it was, you know, paper thin. You know,
it had it reached its limit.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. What's he a scapegoat from? Of?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense anymore. That's for sure.
The character, sure.
Kenny Omega, who I've never personally had a connection with. I don't know. He's amazing in the ring. Don't get me wrong. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I've never heard a promo from him where I'm like, oh man, you got me in the feels.
Right. Yeah.
He's very indie, like you said, with Jack Perry. He's very indie in his presentation where I'm just like, okay, I've heard this shtick before from you. You know, it's always the same thing. And I bid you adieu. So blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, good night. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it the first time and I was like, What else we got? MJF. I mean,
Takeshita.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy.
Kyle Fletcher. I can see him being big. Not this year. Next year.
He super impressed me with his.
He's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, a lot of tools there. We talked about Ricky Starks. You know, inevitable to go. He's going to be in NXT. I can pretty much guarantee you he's in NXT.
He definitely needs to go to NXT.
Yeah. Who else are we saying are coming back? Aleister Black. Is probably going back to WWE.
Ray Fenix.
And Ray Fenix will definitely be going. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
We can talk about that next week or what, but
yeah.
The Penta debut.
Penta debut. Yeah.
Was definitely good.
Yep.
We can talk about that on the
WWE show. Yeah.
Yep.
And obviously Will Ospreay. I mean, he shines in AEW, but I also think they haven't used him perfectly either. As amazing as he is.
I heard an interesting stat the other day. He's lost a lot more matches than what I realized.
Interesting. Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, like, he's won the title, but I think he didn't defend it once successfully.
It was the international title that he won.
Yeah. No. Yeah, because MJF came back and took it from him, right?
Yeah.
Or he took it from MJF?
He took it from MJF. And then...
Right. It was the American Championship or whatever, and then he made it the international again.
Yeah, and then he won it at All In London from MJF.
Right.
And then Takeshita beat him at... Was it Full Gear? Yeah, the one with Ricochet, Takeshita, and Ospreay.
Yeah, great match. Yeah.
Yep.
Looking at the women's roster, when we're talking about like homegrown talent, you've got Britt Baker. She's fantastic.
She's
Chris Statlander.
The thing with Britt that makes her good is she gets people to care.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
A lot of the roster just doesn't.
Yeah.
They can put on good matches, but you can't really get them to care.
Yeah, the standouts on the women's roster are Britt Baker, Chris Statlander, Toni Storm, and Willow Nightingale, I would say. Thunder Rosa, I don't know. I think she's good, but everything I've heard about her backstage in real life, she sounds like a complete, just problem. Just a problem. Like, not a good thing. Like you're a poison. Like you're just causing problems.
I don't know.
It's all anytime I ever hear about something, that has to do with her, shoot, it's usually bad. Saraya, I've always said, is overrated. Ruby Soho, same thing, overrated.
Yeah, I mean, she was basically the same. Well, I think her little romance gimmick storyline that she had was kind of a departure from her WWE, but it's just not a focus.
Yeah.
So it's hard to...
I've heard Camille is great, but I haven't really seen her do anything.
She wasn't given any kind of opportunity there.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, she still shows up on the roster page, but ever since she quit working for Mercedes, she's not been on TV.
Yeah. Yeah, their women's division needs a lot of work, and I don't even know where you start, to be honest with you. All right, I think we've exhausted everything that we can talk about with AEW. I couldn't honestly guess where they're going with most things because they're so random and things just don't ever really. I think we talked about it before, but like a lot of their decisions seem to be surprises for the sake of being a surprise and not for the good of the storyline. If there even is a storyline. So,
and we talked about
they got to change that.
We talked about how last week WWE is unpredictable. We can't see where things are going, but in a good way because they have a lot of options.
Yeah, you can see it going in 16 directions, and you're wondering which one they're going to pick.
Like I can see Seth going against Drew. I can see Seth going against Punk. You can see so many different options, but in AEW, it's just
madness.
I don't know.
It's just chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and not in a bad way. Exactly, not in a good way. Yeah, agreed. Well, hopefully they pull it out.
We both want it better. We both want to see it better.
Absolutely. I mean, AEW pay-per-views were what I looked forward to in wrestling every single time for since they started. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's an AEW pay-per-view this Saturday. Gotta watch that shit. You know,
Yep.
you're in for a great show. But in 2024, that really changed. That
Yep.
really, really changed. So they got to get back on what made them great in the first place, which is great matches, great stars, homegrown talent, and stuff that makes sense. And stop trying to shock value your way into ratings.
Yep.
Because nobody cares. All right. This has been a very cool episode of Wrestling Renaissance. If you want to reach me, I am at TJ-Leo on BlueSky.
And I'm at Cole2K on the X and the BlueSky.
The X and the BlueSky, I like that. And if you want to reach us, you can email us at code.op.podcast@gmail.com or talk to us on the Discord channel, discord.gg/Wrestling Nation Zone. All right, this has been Wrestling Renaissance, and we're out.
We're out.